What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Cop Ultras podcast show. I'm your host Poovan, and I'm back today to give you guys my insight, my thoughts on the preview of our upcoming Merseyside Derby tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Malaysian time, which is Liverpool versus Everton at Anfield. So, big match. So it is going to be our 243rd Merseyside Derby this weekend. So definitely hoping to get the 3 points from Everton as well. I know Everton are currently in a very bad run of form right now. They are in the 14th position in the table. Sorry, not 14th. They are on the 16th position on the table. They are 4 points off the relegation zone. So all is not well for the Everton fans, but so far for Liverpool fans, all is well and still okay, despite the fact that we had a lot of the incidents with VAR and injuries and so on and so forth with red cards and stuff like that. So our season so far is still okay. It's still good. Couple of things I want to point out as well. We are currently fourth on the table. We have gained 17 points from 8 matches. We have won 5, we have drawn 2, and we have lost 1, unfortunately, which was against Tottenham. Tottenham are currently unbeaten alongside Arsenal as well. They are level on points in the with 20 points and in the first and second positions, whereas Manchester City is in the third position with 18 points as well. So that is how the top is looking right now. The other positions below Liverpool would be Aston Villa, which is in 5th, and then Brighton, which is on 6th. And then when you go down, when you look at how Everton are currently doing in the league this season, they have played 8 matches and they've only gotten 7 points. Not a very good tally for them at all this season. It's going a little bit rough for them from the other side of Merseyside. So they've played 8, they've only won 2 games, drawn 1, and they have lost 5 games, guys. So definitely hoping that Jurgen Klopp and the boys can go on and get the 3 points for us at Anfield tomorrow night. Couple of things I would like to talk about is on how are we looking in terms of team news and injury news are concerned. So we have good news and we have bad news as well. So the good news is Cody Gakpo is not in crutches anymore. He is not in a cast on his leg anymore, so he is up and running. He has joined team training as of yesterday evening, as of Thursday UK time. So he has joined in squad training as well. He has joined in, not to say that he is being reserved to one side in terms of team training and whatnot is concerned. He has actually joined in on a full scale training, doing in some dribbles, doing some pace exercises and so on and so forth. So that is a very good insight to what we can see in terms of Cody Gakpo, which is him being up and running. Trent also as well, who has participated, being involved in international duty as well in the international break. A lot of our players have been involved in international break. So a couple of stuff is which is Alexis McAllister, who has been involved, Darwin Núñez, Luis Diaz, Alisson Becker. So our South American players have all come back to Liverpool, and then they have joined the team training in the AXA training center on Thursday morning. So despite them having featured as well, so most of it is for the World Cup qualifiers as well. And 36 hours earlier itself, they have already came back to Liverpool and already undergone training and assessment as well. So that is some very good news. And like I said about Gakpo as well, he has missed the last 2 games with a knee issue that also forced him out of the Holland squad last week. He's also back doing all the work on the pitch with the returning internationals, like all our our South American players as well. So indicating there's an outside chance. So yes, outside chance meaning there is low probability of Cody Gakpo actually being involved in the match against Everton in terms of first team selection is concerned. So hopefully, fingers crossed, with him being involved in team training, hopefully he gets selected for for the match against Everton. At least being on the bench is good enough. At least we need the squad depth, we need the players. We can call upon Cody Gakpo as and when necessary, only if it's as and when necessary. I think Klopp would not hesitate to get Gakpo involved after what had happened in terms of injuries with him with his knee and all that which happened against Tottenham. So hopefully he gets to make himself available and get selected for the matchday squad. So other players which are still under progress and still have yet to come back from injury is Kuimin Kelleher. He's been working in the gym after being sidelined by a knee wound, but Thiago Alcantara, Stefan Bajcetic, and teenage midfielder Bobby Clark still remain out and still have yet to join individual training as well as team training as well. Coming to look at how Everton are doing, Everton are not really doing well as well. Seamus Coleman is back. A few of their players as well are injured and out as well. Yes, another good news as well. Diogo Jota, who recently had a red card against Spurs before our international break, before 2 weeks ago, he sat out the game against Brighton, and now he's also available as well for us against Everton in the Merseyside Derby as well. So Diogo Jota is available, and also Curtis Jones as well, who is still unavailable because of the straight red card that he had received. So he'll be sitting out this game as well, and also the game against Nottingham Forest. He might be involved in the game against Toulouse in the Europa League, in my opinion. Hopefully he gets involved in that game. But in the game against Nottingham Forest, he will not be participating, but he might be be available for the next Premier League matchup with whomever we are competing against. And also another thing is there are some rumors here and there about Darwin Núñez's availability for the Merseyside Derby as well, because he did suffer a few cramps during Uruguay's win over Brazil, in which he also scored one of the goals as well. I think he scored 2 of the winning goals as well. But he also trained alongside Gakpo in preparation for the match against Everton. So in terms of team news, this is how the team is actually looking, as they look forward to facing Everton at Anfield. And the biggest saddest news as well that I think all the Liverpool fans are now gutted to hear was our Scottish left back Andrew Robertson, Robbo, has suffered a dislocated shoulder. We have yet to know in terms of the scans or whatnot, how long is he going to be out? Is there any surgery is going to be required, or does he just need to recuperate from the dislocated shoulder and whatnot? I did see a picture of him being in a arm, the guard the armrest that they would usually put if you have a arm injury. So he's on that. Definitely not a happy sight, and especially it's a dislocated shoulder. And we know the kind of player Robertson is. He goes for every single ball, he doesn't care about it, and especially for Scotland he gives another extra 100% in terms of effort and that whole mentality is concerned. So really gutted that he isn't able to feature for us in this game against Everton. Definitely need his passion and his legs, but unfortunately the dislocated shoulder, it came at a very, very wrong time for us and for him as well. Hopefully he can recover and come back and be of service for us. But we are, none of us, or even Jurgen Klopp is not sure on how long Robertson is going to be out for. So now the whole focus would be shifting in terms of who are we going to use in terms of deputizing for Robertson in the game against Everton. So not only just for Everton, but in the upcoming games as well, because we are not sure as how long is Robertson going to be out. It could be about a month, it could be about 2-3 months, it could be about half a year as well. Hopefully Robbo gets well soon, but we have almost about a month or two to see how Jurgen Klopp utilizes Kostas Tsimikas. So Kostas Tsimikas, he did sign a new deal with us. He's extending his stay at Liverpool. It's a good move for him. It's a good move for Jurgen Klopp. It's a good move for the team as well, because we need all the squad depth that we can get. Tsimikas is actually a very good player. It's just that he's not up to the Robertson level of player that you would expect, but he does his job. He never fails to do his job. defensively he's quite sound. He's okay, he's good. It's just that he does have his moments. He does have a certain moments where he will put a foot wrong, or not about tackles are concerned, maybe in terms of the pace of him tracking back, trying to help the defensive line. We can see him attacking even more. As the longer he has played with us, we can see Simikas being more involved in the attacking sense. But defensively, he's good as well. But he's not to say up to the standards of how Robertson is. So I think that's the whole part where it's concerning, and in terms of our fan base around the world, not only just in the UK. So in terms of how Liverpool, now this topic that I'm actually coming on is how are we going to which are the players that are we going to see deputize for Robbo, since he's going to be away for a lengthy period of time. So for me, my first option would be, the obvious choice is going to be Costa Tsimikas. I would not go for any other player. I will not go for a player who is a right-footed player, or for example, a player like Joe Gomez. I would not put him at left back, because you would need a player who is left-footed to play in a left-sided position. I understand that when in the wings and all that, if you want to put a left in the left wing, you want to put a right wing player, and you want to play, like for example, like how Salah is, he plays in the right wing, but he's left footed. But that is more in terms of the attacking sense. But when you are playing when you are playing in the defense, you're playing as a defender, you need to be on your strongest foot. It's just that to make sure that you are able to steady yourself, and you are able to see where the ball is going, so that you can use your strong foot to tackle, and your positioning has to be right. The way you track back, when you track back, you must not be very rash in some of your tackles, or your positioning. It mainly comes down in terms of positioning. So some of them have said that most probably they might go with Joe Gomez. Maybe it's because of the system that we are playing in, because we have seen this box four midfield of ours playing. We have seen Trent going into the midfield positions now more than often. Even in the game against Brighton as well, we saw Trent being in the midfield position, spraying out passes, playing together with McAllister and Mo Salah as well, with Soboslai as well. So if you were to see that kind of system being played out against Everton, then a player like Joe Gomez or even a Costa Tsimikas has to play a centre back position rather than more of a left back position, because that's what the system is demanding from you. If you were to play in the left back position, and if you have Trent who is going to be inverted and going to be in the midfield position, so highly likely is that the other three defenders of the team have to drop, and have to be the three main centre backs guarding the line. So we can't have in a way where Costa Tsimikas nor Joe Gomez as well to bombard forwards when Trent is in the midfield position. So in that case, that heavily depletes our line defensively, and we are very, very vulnerable to attack. I think it was very, very obvious in the game against Brighton as well. We were already very sloppy with the passing. We were already very sloppy with possession. We were very sloppy with the ball. Certain times we were rash in the tackles. Some decisions didn't go in our way. But then the sloppiness was very, very obvious, because our backline is not a very steady backline, because it tends to be very, very fluid. Because in certain moments you would have Trent being in the midfield position, you could see Trent being in the wing back position, trying to whip crosses in, and then at certain moments in time you could see Robbo as well. In the game against Brighton, he would go attack the ball, and also try to come down defensively, trying to assist Van Dijk or Konate as well. So that kind of fluidity does sometimes bring an appetite for disaster for us as well. So it was very, very obvious in the game against Brighton. But hopefully in this game we can see a player like Tsimikas being more defensive, trying to put in an effort to try to be more defensive rather than being more offensive, and letting all the players in front of him do all the attacking work. It's not to say I do not want Costas to not play any attacking role in our team, but then being more defensive is being more safe. I rather have a safe, a safe defensive line rather than having it very fluid and being very very vulnerable to attack, because it happened one too many times. Another thing that we have to be concerned as well, it's sometimes Tsimikas does have difficulties playing in the centre back position. It was very very obvious as well, because the most notable one was him giving up the goal against Leicester in the Carabao Cup as well. So he missed the ball during the build up play and whatnot, and then he absolutely caught out on the ball, and then Leicester scored, and then we had to come back from behind and score and win, and all this to happen. So are we going to concede any goals? If you were going to ask me that question, I would not want to answer it later, because I know you guys would have known the question as well. Are we going to concede one goal? Definitely we're going to concede one goal. Either way you're going to look at it, we are going to concede one goal. I mean, it's come to a point in this season, even though it's not even halfway through the season, but I'm saying that you would expect Liverpool to have a few clean sheets in this season. We had a few last season as well. This season also we would have a few. We would expect to have a few clean sheets, but then it's not happening. Even in 8 games, all of the 8 games we had considered 1 or 2 goals. So are we going to concede goals in this game as well? Definitely. It's a Merseyside Derby. What would you expect? Mistakes are bound to happen. Sloppiness is bound to happen, because that's how the derby is. That's how games are being played, especially if it's a Merseyside derby. So is at the end of the day, Kostas Tsimikas, is he worth the risk putting in at left back? Yes, definitely, because not only just for attacking sense, like I said earlier, it was mainly for defensively. He can bring he can also bring defensive play. He can bring the threat down to a minimum a little bit. Another thing that we can also look at, if we were to see Kostas Tsimikas up in the left back position, is there going to be changes in the midfield as well? As you can see in the game against Brighton, our midfield wasn't good, and in that particular Brighton game, our team was actually screaming for a defensive midfielder. I've said this in a few episodes as well. Till now I have no idea why Wataru Endo is still sitting on the bench, not being able to play league matches, but he is able to play every other game as well. So I mean, he's playing league games. He would be bound to play the FA Cup games, and then there will be Europa League games which are also he's involved in. Why not let him play a game like this? I mean, a game of this magnitude at Anfield is definitely a recipe for a player like Endo to actually show his leadership skills and show his passion for the game. Endo is a really good number 6, so why not we Klopp deploys him as the deepest midfielder, as a number 6, a proper number 6, and letting the likes of McAllister and Szoboszlai do more of the attacking work alongside Trent as well. So when you have that kind of a box for midfield, that is a little bit more, it gives you more it gives you more of a sense of solidity. It gives you more solidity in the back line. So when you have players like Kostas Tsimikas attacking and you have players like Trent attacking the wings, so what would Endo do is Endo would drop back, like how would Fabinho would always do, and try to clear out all the passes, trying to reshuffle back the ball whenever we lose possession, trying to get it back into our control. So these are the kind of things that we would expect a player like Endo to do, and I'm hoping that Endo is able to play in this game against Everton. So plenty of stuff we can talk about, but so far so far in terms of how our system looks, it's just that because of the way we play, it's the reason why maybe Endo is not fitted into the system yet. Maybe we want more attack. We want to go attack. Maybe for us now in this season, attack is the best form of defense. But then the games again, the games where we have conceded all the goals, and the game against Brighton as well, those are kind of important games that we would want to win. You want to have clean sheets, and why not? So are the players that we are fielding, despite having Wataru Endo, good enough to defend the backline? That's the whole big question right now. So with that thing being said, hopefully Costas gets a start against Everton, and hopefully Endo as well gets a start against Everton as well. So coming back to one last thing I would like to talk about is more in terms of pre-match insights. I've got some here. So Liverpool have lost just one of their last 25 Premier League meetings against Everton. They have won 11, drawn 13, with that being a 2-0 home defeat in February of 2021, which was way back. I think that was like 2-3 years ago. So 2 years ago, sorry. So another insight that we might have is, having won 5 of their first 11 Premier League games against Liverpool, which they have drawn 4 and lost 2, Everton now have only won just 5 of their last 51 games against Liverpool in the competition. So they've drawn 21 and they have lost 25. So hopefully we can put loss number 26 in the loss column of Everton playing against Liverpool in the Merseyside Derby. They don't really have a good run of form as well, so hopefully we can capitalize on it. And then Liverpool against Everton is the most drawn game in English Football League history, with 69 of the previous 208 meetings finishing level, with Liverpool winning 81 games and Everton winning 58 games. So we have definitely dominated on that end in terms of victories against Everton are concerned. And Liverpool have kept 26 clean sheets against Everton, more than they have against any other opponent. It's also the highest number of games the Toffees have failed to score against an opponent. So this whole 26 Premier League clean sheets that we used to have, now it's actually gone inside the dustbin, because now we played already 8 games and we have conceded 1 goal in every game. So are we going to concede again? I would pose the question to you guys, are we going to concede a goal against Everton? Definitely. If I were to do a prediction, which I'll come back to that later, I have one last insight, which is Everton versus Liverpool is the Premier League fixture to see the most red cards, which is 22 red cards, and the most goalless draws, which is 12 goalless draws in every game, while Liverpool's 5 90th minute winning goals in this fixture is the most one team has scored against another in the competition. And the most notable 90th minute winner that we have scored is Lord Divock Origi's headed goal in the last seconds against Everton, which the ball hit the crossbar and hit Pickford's hand and the crossbar, and it came back into play, and Divock Origi eventually got us the 3 points as well. So sad to see as well, there's no Divock Origi in this game as well. The man is clutching for us against Everton as well. So hopefully our other attacking players, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Jota, Mo Salah can try to get themselves on the score sheet, especially Mo Salah as well. So in terms of pre-match insights, I think that's about it. Scoreline prediction, what would I expect? Before I come to scoreline predictions, I would like to say something about I would like to give you guys my prediction in terms of how the lineup is going to be. So I think in the goalkeeping position, it's going to be, hands down, it's going to be Alisson. And then I will come to our back four. So our back four is going to be, I don't expect to see Joe Gomez playing in the right back position, because Trent is now fully fit. So it's going to be Trent, it's going to be Konate. Hopefully it's going to be Konate and not Joe Gomez or Joel Matip, because Konate has already, he already has the qualities. He's already there. He's available for us, but I don't understand why is he playing European games for us. I mean, like Europa League games and cup matches for us, why when he can be available for us to play in the league matches as well. So most probably I hope to see Konate, Van Dijk, Trent, and no Robertson. So it's going to be Shimikas there deputizing for Robertson. And then in the midfield 3, I'm just hoping and praying that we would start Wataru Endo, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Alexis McAllister. Hopefully it happens. I am just hoping that it happens, because how Harvey Elliott did have a good international, game, international break where he did perform well for the England under 21. He had a goal, he had an assist, and he performed really well. So you never know what would happen in our midfield three. So you would never know whether if Klopp is going to decide whether, I would just start Harvey Elliott. He had a good, he had a good 2 weeks in the international break against, for England under 21. So why not I start him? It could happen that way. Or if Klopp is really, really thinking defensively, we need to be solid at the back, we need to get a clean sheet by all means necessary. I need to use my number 6 that is available. Then the most probable choice is going to be Wataru Endo, and then in the other two midfield positions is going to be Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then in the front three, Cody Gakpo, most likely he's not going to play, despite him being able to train and whatnot, but he will be in the bench. So I would see the likes of Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, and Diogo Jota. I think Diogo Jota would get would get the nod for Jurgen Klopp. It looks highly likely. It looks more likely that way. It's not that I do not want Darwin Núñez to start, but then, like I said in the team news earlier, he did have a cramp and whatnot, and he also did come back for us, and he also participated in team training. So you would never know the extent of how much his body has worked on him. I think Klopp would decide to be very, very cautious. So he might bench Darwin Núñez and let Diogo Jota start, having been not available for a few games for us in the league. So as far as first team lineup predictions, Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Konate, Tsimikas, Endo, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Mo Salah. So that is going to be my first 11 for the Merseyside Derby. So in terms of that is done, and now I've come to the final part, which is going to be my score prediction. What is going to be my score prediction? Are we going to concede goal? This is the third time I'm asking you guys. I think it's going to be the third or fourth time I'm asking you guys. We will concede a goal, no doubt whatsoever about that. As much as we would think that we would not concede goals, but I think we might. If Liverpool prove me wrong, then I'm happy, but if not, let's see what happens. So what I'm expecting the score to be is, looking at Everton's form, looking at Liverpool's form, I would go for Liverpool winning the Merseyside Derby 3-1 at Anfield. So I don't want to say who's going to score, who's not going to score. We do have multiple scorers on the team. They can score goals for us. So the score is going to be 3-1. Definitely that one particular goal, who is going to score, God only knows who is going to be. Some defender from Everton, maybe it's going to be Seamus Coleman. It could be Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. So let's see what happens in the Merseyside Derby. So that's about it from me. Thank you so much, you guys, for listening. International break was it was here. I had to take some time. I had to go and finish up my own personal stuff. That's why I wasn't able to give you guys any any podcast episodes during the international break. But now I'm back. Let's move forward with the Premier League matches this season. Let's start it back. Merseyside Derby, a big game for us. Hopefully we can get the 3 points, and hopefully let's see what happens at the top of the table as well. Arsenal are facing Chelsea as well. Let's see what happens there as well. So thank you so much, you guys, for taking your time to listen to my podcast. Do like, share, and subscribe. If you like this podcast episode, do smash on the like button, and also follow me on YouTube as well, and also on Instagram, TikTok, and also on Spotify as well. I'm uploading my episodes on Spotify as well, so do head on over there and take your time, and you guys can listen to my podcast episodes. So with that, signing off, I'm your host Poovan, and let's get the 3 points in Merseyside, in the Merseyside Derby, and you'll never walk alone. And take care, and see you guys soon. Take care, guys.